Hey guys, Spartan here, welcome back to Risk of Rain 2. So, it's only come to my attention that I've actually never obliterated myself at the altar on camera, so it's kind of something I should probably do. And I wanted to kind of do one episode for each character. So far I've only done the Commando, the Engineer, and the Bandit, who isn't actually in the game, so we're gonna go to probably my favourite character, the Huntress, who is possibly the most overpowered late game. I'll explain why once we start, which should be like in 2 seconds. I don't think I really need to cut out the loading times in between. It's not that long. So the Huntress has a bit of odd attacks, considering the fact that she can't actually shoot unless there's a target, with the exception of her E skill. So you really don't need to aim with the Huntress, you just need to face the general direction of the enemies and just hold down mouse 1. So, the reason why Huntress is so overpowered is because of her secondary skill is, it's pretty much brain dead, the skill. Watch. Yeah, it throws a glaive, it bounces, and it does a lot of damage really quickly. So basically, what you need is a bunch of crowbars and backup magazines, and you can just generally take down most enemies without a second thought. Late game, I was playing multiplayer once, and I gained 9 backup magazines, so I had 10 charges on my secondary skill, and I got brain stalks, which makes it so that once you kill an elite, for 3 seconds your abilities have no cooldown, which isn't actually what it does, but it's close to what it does. I didn't even notice there were more beetles. But yes, essentially let me go, you know, glaive. What is that 3D printer for? Monster Tooth, that's garbage. I should know. I used the Shrine of Order on one of my runs, and it gave me Monster Teeth. So I fucking died, because 17 Monster Teeth does not actually do anything. It's like the worst item in the game. It's even worse than Wax Quail, because at least Wax Quail has, you know, potential to do something. I should probably stop shooting at the enemies while I use that, because it's actually kind of counterproductive. Berserker's Pauldron, that's a new-ish item I unlocked, because the unlock conditions for it was stupid. By the way, at this point of the game I've unlocked all the items now, so no, not seeing any of the good items anymore. Berserker's Pauldron makes it so if you kill 3 enemies within 1 second, then you gain extra 50% attack speed and 100% move speed for, I forget how long it is, I think it's like 6 seconds. You can probably check with the footage there. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. Early game, it's nothing special really. Late game, it is godlike, considering the fact that, you know, especially with the glaive doing as much killing as it does currently. Well, I'm just taking so much damage. Not like it really matters though, because, of course, start game, nothing matters. It's still anyone's game. Alright, what we got here? Of course, Sticky Bomb is the best item in the game for stacking. I expect Sticky Bomb to be nerfed eventually. Either that or for Sticky Bomb 3D printers to just not exist. Hey, Predatory Instincts. Fun fact, Predatory Instincts actually does give you a bit of crit chance. I know every character starts with like a, I think it's a 2% base crit, but Predatory Instincts gives you like an extra 5%, so you have like 7, which means it's not completely unlikely for you to get crits early on. Also, by the way, when you roll for crit and you use the glaive, all 7 hits of the glaive, oh, nice little freeze there. All 7 hits of the glaive are predetermined on the first throw, so if you crit the first thing you throw at, you crit with all the other hits. Just, hey, late game, play Dude Strider, what the hell are you gonna do? Only downside with the Berserker's Pauldrons, I don't think you can actually get killed very easily on bosses. Well, not on bosses, with bosses, because they'll most likely absorb your hits. Let me try and do it, actually. There we go, that worked. Just had to use all my abilities. Was it worth it? Actually, it kind of was. Oh my god, I just took a huge hit there. That's what happens, Beetle Queen is like the least expected enemy to actually hurt you. considering the fact that they they kind of suck. Also, one bad thing about glaive is that if you're using bustling fungus and you use the glaive, it actually cancels it because you're technically moving upwards. As you saw, it just cancelled the effect. Also, you can be hit while dashing upwards to use that stupid arrow rain ability. THEREALSPARTAN is actually doing quite a bit of work right now. And down goes the Beetle Queen. Let's pick up the healing orbs because of course they do something. Harvester Scythe. Harvester Scythe also gives you extra crit. It doesn't actually say that though, it just says critical strike heal you. Kinda would suck if it didn't give you crit, honestly. I think my crit rate is now like 10%, so it's okay. Wow. At range, it hit this enemy and then hit this enemy. Strange. But yes, as you saw, a single crit kills 2 of them. With 100% crit, you can easily wipe out like 1,000,000 enemies in one hit. I believe the Huntress is cosplaying as a furry right now. Also, the reason I have so many coins is I did a bunch of grinding runs, which is, of course, when you play on Drizzle difficulty and you just go to the monolith as fast as possible and just obliterate yourself because it gives you 5 lunar coins. It's pretty viable, honestly. It's slow, but, I mean, you're not supposed to have that many lunar coins. Also, as you can see there, of course, the arrow rain ability also works the same as the glaive. It rolls based on the first attack. So that's why that beetle just experienced complete hell there. Hey, backup mag, that's good. Just need some brain stalks. Or Bandolier. Bandolier also works fairly well. It's not as good as brain stalks, but it's a lower rarity, so of course. Why would it be as good? Rare items are supposed to be the best. In before, what's the name of that item that's rare that really sucks? One thing I should point out is that the Risk of Rain devs actually did a pretty good job at making characters who don't feel terrible to play with lag. Considering the fact that, you know, Huntress has the glaive, which is still really fun to use, doesn't require great aim or anything like that. Case in point, that hit. The Engineer can use his turrets. The only characters who feel really bad to play in lag are the Artificer and the Mercenary. But honestly, if you're playing Artificer, you should probably be used to being hit by crazy attacks out of nowhere. I'll be doing a video with the Artificer eventually. Honestly, is a really cool character. They just really suck late game. Rosebuckler. Rosebuckler is actually decent with the Huntress, considering the fact that she can shoot while sprinting. You won't see me doing that very quickly. No, not very quickly, very frequently. But that's because it's kind of hard to aim. I know you really don't have to aim, but it's like... Usually I like to move backwards, and you can't sprint backwards. One thing that's interesting is how, like, the way they've designed the items, being that white items are kind of the base, you know, they kind of make your run depending on which ones you have, and not, you know, green. And red is just generally very powerful effects, but they're not anything too spectacular, honestly. I mean, Brilliant Behemoth is a nice upgrade, Ghost Mask is cool, but it doesn't do too much because it's just luck-based. It isn't as good as the Happiest Mask from the first game, considering the fact that I believe Happiest Mask in the first game always gave you a clone of whatever you killed. They just had, you know, they actually had health so they could die from enemies and stuff like that. In this game they just have, like, duration. Wow, 2 Blazing Lemurians. That's a testament to how much health they had. They both ate a glaive and they still survived. They'd be a real pain if they didn't give a lot of gold. You know, on camera I actually go to the Abandoned Aqueduct pretty frequently, considering the fact that, I mean, there's only like 6 stages in the game right now, with the Abandoned Aqueduct and the Recovery Zone, or whatever the hell it's called, being the only ones you can get on stage 2, but still, it's, you know, that's more than you'd expect. Like, I go here more frequently than you would expect, that's what I'm trying to say. There really isn't too much in this place of the map. I did get 3 armor-piercing rounds for some reason. I mean, it isn't the worst item, it just doesn't do too much. Oh, shut up, you stupid wisps. Yeah, machine gun mode. Oh my god, I'm being hit by a lightning elite. God damn it. So in the time between last episode and this one, I have found 0 of the elemental buffing abilities, like the Silent Infantry Strike and the Ifrit's Visage, or whatever the hell it's called. Just because they're so rare, and that's a testament, and I've played this game a lot, honestly. Even though it's not out yet. Hey, another Rose Buckler, that's... It's not too spectacular, really. I'd rather get something that actually buffs my damage. I'd rather get a Will of the Wisp or something. Oh my god, that was a good crit. Nice. Also survivability. Survivability would be a really nice thing to get as well. As a bundle. Hells with all the armor-piercing rounds I'm collecting. I mean, it's not a bad item, it just doesn't do too much most of the time. It's situational is what it is. So, I mean, situational can be good at times, but... Oh, do I want more backup mag, or do I want more soldier syringe? Backup mag is actually probably the much better choice. It allows for more burst, and allows for potential endgame stuff. Speaking of endgame, how did you enjoy watching the movie? I can't believe that they killed Dumbledore. Nah, I actually didn't watch Endgame, because I didn't watch Infinity War in the first place. Marvel movies are just something I'm not really into. Superheroes is... One thing I don't like about superhero movies is they tend to have a bunch of inconsistencies in them with powers. And like they try and make these characters flawed, but having flawed characters when you have superpowers, like, surely you don't have much to actually focus on. You just play to your strengths. Like, I can probably go more in depth with that when I'm not actually focusing on Risk of Rain 2, but I'll have to wait for that another time. 2 bustling fungus or a backup magazine. You know, I'm not actually quite sure which one of them is more useful to this character that needs this secondary skill. If I were playing as the engineer, I'd make the complete opposite choice though. Another good thing about Risk of Rain 2 is that if you're playing multiplayer, then there's honestly a lot of choices considering the fact that, you know, items for one character may be garbage. Yes, like a backup magazine may be garbage for engineer, but they're good for, you know, they're good for Huntress. So if you have both of them in the same game, you can use some teamwork saying, oh hey, I bought this and it gave me a backup mag. You take it and, like, you can trade me for a bustling fungus later on. Just encourages good team play. Lunar coin thing, sure, I'll take it. What is it? It's Effigy of Grief. That is the most garbage item there is. I can name a use for all the other items, but not Effigy of Grief. Effigy of Grief makes it so that it's a use item, and you drop it, and it decreases the armor and speed of everything in its radius by, I believe they reduce speed by 50% and armor by 20. And, you can't exactly quote me on how effective the armor reduction is, because I'm not sure completely how armor works in this game. You can check the wiki for that. But basically, it's a drop item, so you drop it, and then you have to pick it up again once you want to use it. It lasts forever. And it's like got no cooldown, so you can spam it if you like. If you have multiple charges, then that would be great. Like, what the hell is it? Actually, no, you can't spam it because it leaves your inventory. You have to actually physically pick it up again to take it back to your inventory. The problem with it is, yeah, it's a drop item, but it isn't a throw drop item, which means that you are affected by it, and all your teammates are affected by it. So when you place it down, you're most likely going to be hit by a crazy amount of damage because you lost all your armor if your character even has any. And you're reducing your speed, so it's harder to get out of there. Basically, don't use Effigy of Grief, just find a Prion accumulator, a disposable missile battery, fucking royal capacitor, something like that. An actually good usable item. Also, by the way, these barrels do a crazy amount of damage for some reason. I have lost a few runs to actually, you know, destroying barrels that are next to me via the Snowflake. It's not called the Snowflake, it's called a Frost Relic, but yeah, it looks like a snowflake. I like the glaive is faster than missiles. This magma worm just does not want to fight me. I mean, I'm fine with that if it wants me to... If it wants to let me kill all the dregs first, and then take it on, I'm not objecting to that. Okay, what the hell is this magma one doing? It's doing nothing. And I can't actually shoot it from here unless I get closer. And I don't want to leave the teleporter zone. Oh, that was a lot. Oh, hey, here we go. He's decided to pay attention to me. It's good. Spartan always needs as much attention as he can get. That's why he says all these stupid things. Come down here and fight, you piece of garbage. Ow, I keep forgetting that the Magmorem actually does a lot of damage if he manages to touch you, because he's got... Oh, a nice audio cutout there. Because he has, whatchamacallit, he has burning damage. I'm okay, though. I don't think I actually missed anything in this level. I'm finding less actual uses for my money. Maybe Smart Shopper shouldn't be put in this game. And of course, joking, Smart Shopper needs to be in every Risk of Rain game because it's just so good. I don't want to hit the stupid imp, I wanted to hit the Stone Titan. You know, I'm surprised I don't actually have a bandolier yet. Usually I get like bandoliers left, right, and center. You can probably use a bunch of the other videos I recorded as proof of this. But bandolier just seems a lot commoner than I'm seeing right here. Infusion is really good on the Huntress because Huntress naturally has some pretty low health. I mean, I'm level 14 with only 442. If you never actually played this game, you'd think that really doesn't sound that low. But honestly, it is. Another thing about this game is that there are actually quite a few players that are still joining the game. By joining the game, I mean that haven't actually played before and only now catching up with it. And wow, that's a Lensmaker's Glasses printer. I can actually use that to get 10 or 9. I don't know whether I have enough base crit to actually only need 9. It's taking my stupid bloody whatchamacallit. I think one of the downsides with the 3D printers is the fact that you can't choose what they take. I mean, sure, sometimes they take useless garbage like your bustling fungus, but other times, of course, they take your bloody backup mags, sticky bombs. Okay, stun grenade is something I don't actually need, but it's fine. Crit rate rising, and 7. I'm seemingly getting all crits right now, so I think 9 is all I need. Even if I need 10, and the buff crit from the predatory senses and the harvester's scythe don't actually make up for the lost 10%, I'm sure that later on I'll find just a random Lensmaker's Glasses from the chest. I mean, it is a common item still. Also, 3D Glasses Printer is one of the reasons why Wicked Ring will never be brought into this game. Wicked Ring was in the first game, and what it did is whenever you got a crit, it reduced the cooldown of all your skills by 1 second. So basically, considering the fact that you can score crits like this quickly, it's not going to be brought into the game. It would just break the game. It would be glaive, 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 because it reduces it by a full second and not actually how Brainstorms works, which is a bit different. You see, if I used glaive right there, then I would have already reduced the cooldown of my glaive to 0 seconds, which not only would have it let me throw another glaive, it would have made the cooldown like in the negatives. I just realized I have no more backup magazines. Like, the fucking 3D printer ate all of them. Those are like the one item I needed. I have 2 monster teeth still. Hey, 2 stone titans next to each other. I wonder what's gonna happen to them. Oh my god. Now what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna get eaten alive by lasers. Take this, vile fiends. Oh my god, it's the sound of critical hits repeatedly. That's all the audio that we're getting here. Also, the way Berserker's Pauldron works in stacks is it doesn't give you extra stats when it procs, it gives you extra time. Hey, Will-o'-the-Wisp, there we go. I now have a bunch of AoE. If I had the cube, then I'd be pretty much unstoppable at this point. One thing I really like about the disposable missile launcher on this stage, it kills the crabs. And crabs have to be some of the most annoying enemies in the game. It's pretty much the only enemy that doesn't have to be anywhere remotely close to you in order to kill you. Take this. Satisfaction, and it's fun. And what do we get? Please give me brain stalks. Happiest Mask is okay. I will accept it. It's not the best. It does, for some reason, draw aggro, even though the ghosts can't actually die. They're ghosts. They're already dead. Omae wo mo shinderu. I'm actually going through the game relatively quickly. Usually it would take me longer to get to this point. I mean, it's only I see you instead of I'm coming for you, or later. No one's ever coming for me. What? But yeah, that's probably just because the Huntress's blink ability is just generally really good at transport. Greater Wisp doesn't even give me enough to open a small chest. That kinda sucks. Personal shield generator. Personal shield generator is, of course, one of the items that I have mentioned is good with glass. Need more glass. Need more power. Can't even buy the... Oh my god, I'm broke. I posted a meme of, me having the Transcendence item and using the Shrine of Pain twice in a row. As in, like, 2 Shrine of Pains in a row, 3 times each. Because that's all you can use it for. It's titled My Life in a Nutshell because it showed, you feel a searing pain, you gain 0 gold 6 times in a row. It's humorous. I've got a good amount of posts on both. I don't know why I'm saying this because I doubt anyone uses the Risk of Rain subreddit. And if you do, please don't. I steal my memes from there and post them. So you'll just say, haha, repost. I've seen this one before. I'm a meme snob and not a meme bomb. Ah, the first ghost I get, it's a fucking beetle. Oh, Nakoran's opinion. Could you please fuck off? Stupid crab. So yeah, this item will, stores up soul energy and releases it when you are healed. If that sounds cryptic, then honestly it really is. But what it exactly does is when you're healed, it adds to a, like, hidden value. And basically when it reaches a certain amount, then it activates and it fires a homing skull. It's really useful on Engineer because Engineer of course heals a lot because of its fungus addiction. For other characters it's okay. It doesn't need to actually heal you, by the way, so if you're full health and you get healed, then it still counts. As you can see right there, it just fired a skull. Really useful with Leeching Seed, Harvester's Scythe. Pretty much anything that can heal you a decent amount. I'm getting like 16 health per hit. Considering the fact I have Arrow Rain and the Glaive, I can heal pretty quickly. Oh, that only gives me 3. Solid. Gets 16 for all of the hits. Let me guess, I'm going to face like 4 Beetle Queens. That's about what I'd face at this stage. 5 Wandering Vagrants, okay, that's acceptable. Except the fact that I can't actually hit them with arrow range, so that makes my fighting strategy a lot worse. Wow, these guys are crazy. Also, that stupid shockwave attack is something you don't want to be hit by, like, ever. It just does so much damage, and if you think you can dodge it, you really can't. You actually have to just hide behind something. Oh my god, stop spamming it! They're not actually spamming it, they're just, so many of them, and they each use it like once. It just seems like they're spamming it. There we go, 4 down. And the last one is using it. It does not have infinite range, so if you get far away enough, then you can still dodge it. Can something I bring back as a ghost actually help me kill these things? I expected to actually get a wandering vagrant ghost there, but no, I guess not. Oh well, I get some ukuleles at least. You know, you cannot say ukulele these days without mentioning the stupid ukulele game. That game was a disappointment. It's what happens when you try and make a game based entirely on nostalgia. Into the portal we go. What the hell is over here? It's a bunch of crabs. Knew it. There's an achievement for knocking 20 crabs off the cliff, or just making them run off the cliff. It's kind of a cruel thing to do, but it's great to do because everyone hates crabs. And it unlocks an item that is actually not on sale here, which is odd. Wow, these are like the 4 worst items you can get. It's garbage. And none of these items is particularly good either. I really don't want to trade in my infusions or my harvester's scythe. That would be a really bad idea. So I want nothing. Fuck you, shopkeeper. The shopkeeper will kick you out if you hit him enough, but you gain nothing from killing them anyway, and they have like 50 million health. The only way you can actually kill them very effectively is honestly using the effigy of grief to reduce their armor a bunch. And you need more than one. At this point of the game, with my splash damage being as high as it is, I doubt that I can, yeah, see there's a fucking, there's a button there, but with gasoline and everything, I'm most likely going to hit a pot randomly, so I can't do this. Take this, by the fiends! That's a good demonstration of how much damage these glaives do. This glaive is, like, literally the epitome of, Huntress gameplay. It's literally all it is. Just throw glaive, repeat. Sick of that sound yet? You will be. Hey, finally, I get a fucking bandolier. Now I can actually, I don't think the drop rate is high enough for me to rightfully spam. But I'm getting close. Wow, a lot of sticky bombs. By the way, 39 is the magic number for sticky bombs. That's the point where, like, it becomes a 100% chance to stick, and it does like 5,000% damage. Let's just go. Wow, those things are just going down like a sack of hammers. Oh, I dashed there. You probably wouldn't notice me doing it, but I did. I did not intend to be hit by that stupid ice explosion. Hey, extra jump. It doesn't really matter considering the fact that the Huntress is kind of agile enough. She doesn't really need extra jumps. Alright, let me try and do this thing now. Because I have, no enemies are going to be spawning anymore. So I have a decent chance of being able to do it. Of course I have to push the pot downhill, otherwise what's going to happen? It's gonna bloody just tumble down if I try and push it from uphill. You know what, let's try and move this pot. It's hooked up against a wall. So I don't think it's going to be very easy to move out of here, but once I do, it should be able to easily push it out. You can see the timer to see how long it's actually taking me to do this. Almost got it. There we go, that's holding it down. Is it? Okay, yes. I'm confused because the fact that the activation of the rose buckler plays a sound very similar to the button B pressing down. B pressing down, yes. Being pressed down. But yes, both buttons held down, Ancient Gate begins to shift, and you can actually go down and grab the items. taken me long enough. Stupid pots, I hate them. At least I get to walk around the level knowing I didn't miss anything. So, what this does is it opens this little passageway down here. It spawns these two things of death. And you have to fight them. Nice freeze there. These things are no pushovers, by the way, since they are Elder Lemurian champions. It's much easier if you fight them early on, and if you haven't, like, increased the difficulty many times by trying to push a pot onto a switch. I recommend doing this in multiplayer, because they are technically easier. Just need to play very agilely. Their attacks are kind of predictable, but it doesn't make them easy to dodge. At least they can block each other's shots. There we go. Kill them both. So, Kyajo drops Kyajo's band. Kyaro. And Runel drops Runel's band, of course. There are some chests here. They don't actually contain anything because they're empty. But, yes. And that's how you unlock both items. I've picked them up multiple times, though, so it doesn't really matter. Also, I believe you can clip out of the level by blinking into the floor, but still. Also, if you manage to glitch yourself in here, then there are ways to get out without opening the door, because of course you can't if it's closed. Now, if my videos were any precedent to this, then I'm going to die here. Because that's what happens all the other times. I seemingly only die here. I die here from... Oh god, there's a fucking Clay Dune Strider over there. Jesus. I died to stupid things too. I died to a Lemurian when playing as the engineer. I forget what I died to as the bandit. I died to, like, an imp while I was being attacked by the Clay Dune Strider. Have I ever mentioned how much I really hate the Clay Dune Strider? It just sucks. Both literally and figuratively. And Magworm is down. Now to take on the stupid Clay Dune Strider before it becomes a problem. I really don't want a Clay Dune Strider sniping me from the other side of the map. Stupid Clay Dune Strider. And I got a Clay Dune Strider Ghost. Which actually is not good, considering the fact that Clay Dune Strider will use his absorption ability to heal himself when he gets low on health, which really that can't be helped because ghosts just lose health over time. Now the downside with this is the fact that it, of course, does not specifically target any enemy or friend or foe. It is regardless. Here's a demonstration. You see, I am losing health due to my own Clay Dune Strider Ghost. And yes, that does allow him to heal back. But this Clay Dune Strider Ghost is most likely not going to die, like ever, because once it gets low on health, it will just do that again. You know, there really hasn't been anything in this stage. Like, what did I even pick up here? One piercing rounds, bundle of fireworks. Not really much. Picked up a wax quail. So I'm probably just going to kill a Clay Dune Strider and then just let the ghosts kill everything else off. If I can get a Clay Dune Strider Ghost. Which I doubt will happen because I've already got one. Thankfully, if you break the grasp from the Clay Dune Strider, then it cannot grab you again. So I just broke it then, and if I go back into its range, it can't grab me. Also, another benefit about the Clay Dune Strider getting everything into it is if you have Will-O-the-Wisp, you can just detonate everything. You know, I probably shouldn't have been playing on Monsters in difficulty. I mean, I'm not as bad at this game as I was on my first go-through. Which, I mean, is anyone ever as bad as they were on their first playthrough? The answer is yes, Darkside Phil is. But I'm not him. I'm pretty sure no one is as bad as him. But yeah, I could probably take the high difficulty. There's really no reason to actually play on Monsoon, though. It doesn't unlock anything. Like, Risk of Rain 1's unlocks were pretty annoying, considering the fact that much of them were character-specific. Like, I still haven't unlocked all the items in Risk of Rain 1, because a bunch of them require stupid things like staying 5 minutes in combat shield mode as the Enforcer. Which, first off, who the fuck likes to use the Enforcer? And second off, No, I'm not staying in combat for 5 minutes. Ow, my face. I keep forgetting that those barrels do a lot of damage and I shouldn't be shooting at them. Oh, I missed one chest. Okay, whatever. Oh, pfft. Of course, one chest I missed. Ceremonial dagger. Well, shit. Okay, so we enter the portal and the things happen. What things exactly? Hold a sec. Just realized my mouse has been dangerously close to my microphone so far. So yes, this is Hidden Realm, a moment fractured hammer. Let me try something. No? Okay. If you have, if you jump up this pole just right with a bunch of wax quails, then you can get a super jump which can launch you to a hidden island over there. As you can see by illumination of the crystal, it contains some Easter eggs. Literally Easter eggs. So basically this place is just a platforming challenge, I guess. If you fall, you just respawn back at the start of this stage. And just take a bit of damage. There's literally no way to die here, I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, there's always a technical way to die as the engineer, if you have Hellfire Tincture. So what this does is, it says, obliterate yourself from existence. It activates, and then it prompts you, are you sure? Now, you can enter that portal, which will take you back to looping your run, but, you know, for the sake of it, and concluding this video, I'll say yes. And it gives you Fate Unknown. What this does is it just ends the run pretty much, and it guarantees you 5 lunar coins. It's the only real way to consistently get them. So that was a pretty decent run. That was a good show of how powerful this stupid glaive character is. That's essentially what they are. Just... why? It's crazy overpowered. But that was fun at any rate. I'll probably do another video for the Artificer, and maybe one for Handy. Not Handy, Multi. Oh my god, I keep messing that up. But yep, I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever it is. So, yep, laters.